Okay, so today I'm happy to see a lot of the assistants and their clients here on the call. And we're joined by an extra special guest, Angela Villa. She is, you may know her as a Blue Diamond in doTERRA. She's actually, Jamie, do you mind pinning her image for me? So Angela, she is a confidence and oils coach, and she's been with doTERRA for about 10 years. And her top 5 strengths, which I think are especially make so much sense with kind of all the things that you do, Angela, are maximizer, significance, futuristic, belief, and arranger. She's a mom of 6 and unschools, which is so cool. I love hearing about all that you do, Angela, with that. She's also a social media enthusiast with 12.5 thousand followers. So she's going to be joining us today and sharing some of her tips with us. And I'm so excited to have you here, Angela. So, Angela, do you want to say a quick few words before we jump in?
I'm really excited to talk to specifically people who are building a network marketing business on social media, because I feel like there's a big gap in what's happening online right now. And I'm hoping that I can share a little bit to fill in that gap with you. So I'm excited to talk about it for sure.
Awesome. Well, I know that one of the biggest questions actually that I get from those that are doing MLMs, I constantly hear this almost weekly. They say, so how can I do social media authentically if I do an MLM? Like, what do I post? Like, what content can I post without being overbearing if I'm just posting about my product? What else can I post? So do you want to kind of address that a little bit?
Well, yeah, absolutely. And this is actually a super simple answer. And it's you share your life and how your product, your business, your opportunity, your lifestyle just kind of flows in and out of your life. A lot of people think that, I apologize. A lot of people think that they have to become the corporate company or they have to become the product. And that's not true. There's millions of us in the direct sales network marketing world. There are millions and millions of us. And the truth is that you are the thing. You are the secret sauce that separates you from, separates me from Emily on here or Wayne or Katie, because, people can sign up with anyone because the product is great, but your life, your lifestyle, your niche, your goodness, your uniqueness is what comes through on social media. So it's why I'm a stickler about posting stock photos, and just regurgitating garbage that you hear from, not that corporate is garbage, it's not you, that's corporate. So we have network marketers, direct sellers have a gift that they're not utilizing, and it's themselves, right? It's so the way that I show up and I teach a class, I'm very unique. People cannot duplicate me. They can duplicate my material, but they can't duplicate me. And so I need to understand that showing up that way online is the same thing. It's the same secret sauce. It's my authenticity.
And I feel like you hit the nail on the head, because we know that network marketing is all about relationships. And so if you're just regurgitating content that's already out there, you're not building a connection with people. So I think you hit the nail on the head there. So what would you say to those people that are nervous about entering social media because they're like, how do I do this authentically? I see so-and-so doing all these different reels and I'm afraid of doing it like that. How can I do it in a way that feels authentic to me?
Right. Well, the first thing is stop following anybody that is causing you to feel like you can't do something. I'm honestly, my favorite hack is the delete or the block. I'm like, if I feel less than, or someone makes me feel like I can't do something, I don't follow them. So that's number one. Number two is there are ways you have to understand a couple things. Like a lot of numbers apparently tonight. The number of people that follow you don't matter. They do not equal sales, right? Likes don't equal sales. Shares don't equal relationships built. That's all a myth from like when Instagram or Facebook first started. Today, it's about who are you? Who do you serve? And what tools and tools and support do you offer that person? So most people feel like I don't know how, because they really truly don't know what they offer people. And so when I help people break down their niche, their quote unquote niche, I want them to list all the things that they're amazing at. What are you great at? Let's list that out. And then let's figure out a way to bring that into your social media. So that's number one. Know who you serve and who you are serving, who you are helping, and the goodness that you bring to it. And then number two is practice. There are so many exercises I do with my leaders. My girls just walked in with a friend. So many exercises I do with my leaders where I will have them record a video of themselves. Most of them will delete the first 3 or 4, right? And then they'll do it again and they'll send it to me, because it's like, oh, it's the practice thing. We think that we're just going to be the show-stopping genius online with one shot. And it's not true. I get called a natural all the time, and I hate it because I have done tens of thousands of videos to be called a natural. My very first video, I was forced to do it. I literally was shaking. It was when I was a platinum, and I wouldn't even go watch it. Like my coach asked me to watch it, and when I did, I deleted it because it was that bad. But it took time and time and year and year and year and video and video and video to practice. So I recommend to people practice, record a reel, save it. You don't have to ship it. You don't have to send it out. So just know who you are and practice. And then the last thing is, honestly, be willing to be bad. One of my most favorite sound effect reels that I make all my leaders do is the sound effect of sucking at something's the first way of being sort of good at something. That's literally one of the first songs they have to use, because they have to understand you're going to suck, and that's okay. People will start with you and they'll watch your journey, and that's how they also can become a huge part of your life online.
And I think a lot of people too gravitate to realness, like the ones that feel super fake or like is orchestrated and have this perfect background, everything is totally set up. I don't feel like they do as well as the ones where they're like, I just woke up this morning and I'm a hot mess, but I'm going to share my message with you today. And I feel like those get more, they're like, I get you. I understand who you are because I'm that person.
Right. Yeah, it's absolutely true.
Yeah, that's awesome. So a couple of other questions. What can people, doTERRA people, especially since many of my clients are here from doTERRA, can they really make sales from Instagram specifically? If they grow an audience in the right way, like you said, can they make sales if they do it the right way?
Yes, 100%. Yes, I am living proof of that. On a bad month, I will pull at least 2 enrollments from Instagram. My last 3 solid leaders have come from Instagram. My last 3. There are, I can't remember the statistic. I posted it, but I want to look it up. But there's 85% of the people looking to buy on social media are looking on Instagram to buy from people they know, like, and trust. So that's one of the statistics. Another statistic is that there's like 70 billion people going to enter the network marketing world. Like, I could have totally exaggerated that, because
actually I think it's 90 billion if I recall right. So you may have even undershot it a little bit. It's pretty high.
It is. So it's 79. So 79 million. I like the word billion. I don't know why, but 79 million people are going to start a home-based business within the next 5 years. And that comes from Forbes magazine. So so people need to understand that the world is both online and offline. And if you're not willing to go online, you're missing a huge portion of people that you won't touch in person. You just can't. So my last leader to enroll with me was my presidential leg. She's in Canada. I've never been to Canada, yet here I am growing a leg in Canada. So yes, you absolutely can, but you have to be committed. So I'm a huge commitment advocate. I feel like the world has lost people willing to commit. Like people will say they're going to do something, they get excited about something, but commitment is gone. It's just does it's rare. So if people are willing to commit to the process of starting out on social media, bare minimum, and doing the things that are necessary, they will grow, and they can grow authentically. Meaning they're not buying followers. They're not, hey, follow me and I'll follow you. It's like, I love to see those accounts that are just starting out, because I know I can take them from 0 to, 400 followers, and just with 400 followers, they can get themselves to silver, gold, platinum. People don't realize that. They think they have to have 10,000 followers to have the stupid swipe up, and all. It's false. If you've got 400 really committed, loyal, engaged people, you've got a gold mine that you haven't even begun to tap into. So yes, you can, but you have to be you have to know how to create content on your feed, which is, if I go to your page and I see your feed, are you solving my problems, right? Are you teaching me, or am I following along going, oh my gosh, Megan is speaking to my soul right now? Okay, if that's the kind of content you want on your feed. If you're doing that, with the hook, we can talk about the hook, the body, and the call to action. That's one thing, but then you have to be willing to show up on your stories. Your face needs to be to the world, because your stories is how you connect with your existing audience. I call it, this is how I get my LRPs up, is the second I start talking about a product on stories, all of a sudden I have a huge group of my customers put that product on their LRPs, but I'm showing them, I'm not stock photoing them. I'm showing them, here's how I roll Immortelle. Here's how I do, Neroli. Here's how I blend this. So I'm showing up for I'm taking care of my customers. And then I do Reels. Reels is right now the only way outside of pay to play, which is paying for ads, to reach new audience. So you have to be willing to hit all three of those. And if you are willing and committed to it, then yes, you absolutely can sell and grow a business on Instagram, on social media. I say Instagram because Facebook is not a place for selling right now. They're really frowning upon it. And they're wanting people to stop. They're really pushing to stop any sort of selling, unless you own a business page and you're paying for ads. So
yeah,
that's why I say Instagram.
You hit on a couple of things. I mean, so much of what you just said was gold. I can see several people like typing and writing as you're talking. But one thing, so I have 900 followers, nowhere near 12,500. But I say the same thing because I actually have an 85% engagement rate. And so those 900 are my people. Like they get me and I get them. And so I feel like that has changed my business in so many ways. I've connected and built this incredible network of people that would not be the same if I just had, a certain number of followers. I have engaged followers, and that's made all the difference. And so I wanted to mention that. I love that, because I feel a lot of my clients feel that, like, how can I actually make this work if I only have a few hundred followers? It doesn't matter as long as they're your people. And then number two, when you talk about finding your niche, I do a similar exercise with some of my clients where I have them write down, in addition, I love that you said write down your strengths, but then also write down what your audience is struggling with. What are their pain points? And then how do you solve that problem? So you may just have a whole column of write down all of their problems and then all of your solutions to those problems. And then consider what free offerings you can give to solve part of those problems that lead to your higher offering. So it's basically a 4-column thing. And that will really dial in your messaging so that they walk away, be like, she gets me. He totally gets me. So I feel like that's magic, total magic. And if people have questions, by the way, feel free to just hit us in the chat. I know that we're sort of hitting you with a lot of stuff and we only have a few minutes with Angela. How do you feel like, how do some of these people on our call today walk away from this and be like, so we had a great call and I'm inspired to be on social media, but what do I do? Like, what is the next step to get more present here?
Right. So I would say, oh gosh, there's a lot. Social media can feel like a beast. It really, truly can. But if you just take it step by step, to set yourself up. And so the first thing I would do is I would make sure I would just say, go to your Instagram page. Do you have a clear photo of you? number one, because I want to do business with a person, not someone's cat, right? I do not want to do business with your kid. They may be cute, but they're not my kids, so I'm really not that interested. Let's be honest. Okay. I want to do business with you. So if anything, tonight you're going to leave and you're going to put a crystal clear photo of yourself, right? Number two, make sure your handle, this goes for anybody running a direct sales business, not under a, like, I know there's a group that I was working with that runs a brick and mortar type thing with their oils in Hawaii. So it's a little different for them, but make sure your handle is your name. You are your brand. I'm sorry, but when I do lives and essentially happy and essential sunshine and essential beach goer jump on, I'm like, who the heck are you? Like, I don't even know who I'm talking to, right? So people feel that way and they don't want to do business with you. So go change your handle to your name, and it can be anything. It could be your, mine, you can do Angela B. Via. I can do Angela.B.Via. I can do Angela_B_Via. So it can be any variation of your name. Okay, so that's number two. Number three, make sure you're searchable. Okay, if you, and I talk about the SEO, so people are turning to Instagram just like they turn to Google, even more so now because it's not as censored as Google is. And they turn to it like YouTube. So people will go and look on Instagram for how-tos. So there's a portion of your profile, and I don't know if you have an example, a profile to pull up, or if I can share mine to show you.
Yeah, totally. I can even pull yours up right here.
Yeah, pull mine up. And there's this portion. So where you see confidence and oils coach, Instagram asks you to put your name there. Well, here's something that direct sellers need to understand. You are not a celebrity unless you're a mega influencer. Like if you are a mega influencer in your company, then yes, absolutely have your name, right? But the biggest mistake is that confidence and oils coach is that's a search engine. So search engine optimization spot. So if you put your name in there and you are not well known, people are not going to search for you. But when people search for confidence coach or oils coach, my name pops up first. If people are searching weight loss coach, my name, whoever has that, their name pops up. Social media coach, so utilize that space, know who you are and what you teach. So I would say change that and make sure it's something that people are searching. So it goes back to knowing your niche, what you're great at, who you help, how you help them. And then I think the final thing to walk away from this is your bio. Your bio should not say, I'm a blue diamond in doTERRA, I have 6 kids, I unschool. That's my bio when I speak. When someone comes to they've just searched me, they found me as a confidence coach, right? They want to know how I help them. And so my bio is broken down in a way that it's very specific. I love working with men, those men who want to work with me. That's great. But I will be honest, I'm 6'4". Most men are intimidated by me. So they don't want to work with me. And that's just the way it is. And I own that and I'm okay with it. But women, I help stay-at-home moms because that's what I once was. And that's who I know how to help. So I got really specific in who I helped. And I get really specific in my bio on how I help them. I help them by, I sell oils, we create an income, I teach them to be more confident online. We have a lot of fun and we grow a community that we actually love. So I get very specific. So when people, you can see my picture super clear, my handle is my name. And then I always offer something free in my bio. So I train people to click my link, right? And I'll share, I share a lot about that in a course I created, but if you were to walk away tonight and you didn't know what else to do, go make this piece of your Instagram show people who are looking for you exactly who you are and what you do. This is key because once they find you and once they go, wow, this person can help me, then they'll start reading your content, right? Or let's say you did a great reel and someone found your page through a reel. They're going to come and look at this first. They're going to see who you are, what you do, and how you help them. And then they're going to continue to follow you. And that is key. From there, once you know who you are and who you help, content starts to flow and you start getting ideas of like what you want to share, how you want to talk to people, right? And so you can gradually ease into this Instagram world. You can go ahead and stop sharing. But does that help people know, like, give you, like, I'm very much influence, execution, those are my dominant domains and my strengths. So I want to help people move forward, and then I want to see you move forward. So I need to know that that helps somebody on this call go, okay, I know what I'm going to do next. Okay, good. It's a big deal for me. My life is like sucks if I'm not helping people move forward.
Yeah, significance in your top 5. That's a, yeah, that need,
Right.
that need.
Right. A lot of people struggle with their content, Megan, because
Mhm.
they don't know what to share on stories. They don't know what to share in their feed because they don't know who they are and
Mhm.
they don't know who they're helping.
Yep. If you try to help everyone, you help no one.
Exactly.
I think you really need to get specific.
Yeah. I did that for a long time. In fact, my Instagram at one time was at like 26,000, but nobody was engaging with me because I was trying to help everybody.
Mhm.
And so I've brought that way down on purpose so that I get engagement with the right people that are actually looking for the help that I offer. So again, just know exactly who you are. What are your strengths? Like, if you, so significance is one of mine, and I embrace that. Like, I like being in the spotlight. I love it. I love it. So I'm good at making reels that are funny and people have a good time with. If that's not you, it's okay. You don't have to do that. You can do something else working with reels where maybe you're more serious, or maybe you actually know how to dance, or maybe you are more like, I'm making my own original content, right? I'm more of a creator. I'm very creative in that, or whatever it is. So you can decide based off your strengths and what you're good at, how you're going to utilize that specific part of the big beast that is Instagram, right?
And I feel like that's so important because we see other people like, oh, I love Angela's feed. I'm going to go duplicate that. But then it feels authentic or inauthentic because it's not them, and they may not naturally be funny, but they're trying to be funny, and it doesn't really feel. So for me, I'm not a naturally funny person. I'm quirky. I'm super quirky, but I'm not funny. And so I come up with my own things, and I feel like that makes me feel like I can show up and I can record videos like that all day long. But if I try to do it like someone else is doing it, where they do like this a lot, or like this a lot, or like this a lot, like that's all over Instagram, and it's not me. And so I just don't do that very much. And I feel like that's sort of the key, is do what feels comfortable to you and start with the step and then move on. Because I didn't start, you probably didn't start immediately doing stories, reels, and all the things all at once. You probably started like, okay, we do a few little posts for a few weeks and a few months. And maybe I'm gonna get into reels. I don't know. Maybe that was me how I did it though. Was that how you did it?
I have been using Instagram for quite some time. So when stories became available, I stepped right into it. So it was like I had the option of doing Instagram lives or Instagram TV, whichever. Anyway,
Yeah.
I did feed for quite some time. And so it was like I had the option to step one foot at a time. Whereas people jumping in now, they're like, they do have to hit each one, but I am a firm believer in this, your schedule. I literally have a space in my day that says, take 10 minutes and scroll through reels to find new songs, right? It's in my schedule because I do not want my people wasting their time like absorbed online. Like, I don't want them doing 5 stories in one day, 1 full post in one day, and creating 3 reels. I don't want that. So like what I would tell you is, on Monday, you go. So this is a basic breakdown for someone who is new to Instagram that I found works. I'm putting Eddie through it. So if you follow my husband, he wasn't an Instagrammer ever, and we just kind of popped him in. And so his schedule is, on the first day of the week, he goes live, and he does a live with a theme for the week. And then he does 2 posts that week that relate to that theme from that live. And then he makes sure that each day, because he wants to take care of the people who are already loyal to him, which is his following, each day he shows up on his stories at least 3 clips. And then once a week he has a reel. but we kind of worked him into that routine, but it all starts with that live and that theme, and then his stories flow with that theme. So everything has that theme. So if you're like, okay, I'm going to talk about, so one of my legacy, and I go over legacy, like what I want to be known for. One of my legacies is learning to love exactly who you are. So if I do a live on loving who you are, I want to make sure that live touches on, you know, their fears of loving who they are, their pain points of loving who they are, their goals on loving who they are, and then how I can help them, right? And then throughout the week, I'll talk about, maybe I'll do one post on Wednesday about the fears of loving who you are and how I can help you. And then on Wednesday, I do the pains, how I can help you, the goals, how I can help you. And then that whole theme of that week, to keep it simple, is just, you know, loving yourself. And that way it's not this, like, I don't know what to post, I have to create all this content. You really don't. It seems like you do, but you truly don't. You don't have to write up a huge, long thing of detail. It's just like, you know, looking at yourself in the mirror, it can be a scary thing when you first start. But if you just look at yourself, say, I love you really quick, and then run away, that's enough for today. Pat yourself on the back and come back tomorrow. What I can do is, I'm here for you. Let me know if you've done the work today, and I'm here to cheer you on. So that's a post. Like, it's simple. And then I might do an Instagram story that day where I show myself looking in the mirror, talking about, maybe with an oil, right? Because we want to bring the oils in authentically. And so I might breathe in an oil and be like, I love myself today, and show my audience how I do it, right? Does this help? People, I think the biggest hang up is that they feel like they have to create these massive new things, and they really don't. You simply have to show people what you do with the product, and what you do. Like, if you work with people with oils and diabetes, how show them, talk to them about the benefits, the different things, right? But show them. If you talk to people, I don't know, about running and oils, if you're an avid runner, take people into your life, into your routine, how you stretch, how you cool down, what it's like to be married to someone who doesn't run, but you love running. Like, you just set yourself a schedule and just stick to that schedule, stick to your niche, and it becomes really clear. It becomes more fine-tuned, and you're not all over the map trying to figure it all out.
Absolutely. Totally. Well, I know we only have a few minutes left with you, but we had a really great question that came in the chat. She says, what is your advice regarding hashtags? Are they critical? How do you find the right ones? How do I use them? Do you use different ones on different posts, or do I just use the same ones all the time?
Okay. So hashtags. Hashtags are awesome. So again, they are a way to reach out organically to people who are not following you, right? So you want to always use, this is going to scare a lot of people, 30 hashtags. But you think of it like this, and I have several hacks I talk about in my course, and I can share but think about 30 hashtags are 30 opportunities for you to speak directly to someone. Okay. Your hashtags can either go in your content, so in your caption, so I write up my I love my body, hashtags. Or I can write up my thing, I love, you know, oils, whatever, post, or they can go in your comments. Either one works. There's this back and forth of what's the best, but honestly, after studying with a few different experts, either one works. Hashtags for stories are gone. They don't even work anymore. So you don't need those. Hashtags on reels, hashtags on Instagram lives, and hashtags on posts, at least 30. One of my biggest hacks is I have an app on my phone called Ditto. I love Ditto. I store all my Zoom classes in there. I store my links in there to kits. I store everything in Ditto. So I just tap a button and I post them. So when I go to post, I go to my Ditto because it's right on my keyboard on my phone, and all my hashtags are stored in there and they're categorized. So I keep it really simple for myself. And you are going to want to mix them up quite often. You never want to have 30 hashtags, all 30 of the same, like all 30 hashtags, the exact same hashtags for every single post you do. You don't want to do that. So a breakdown that I will utilize is 30 of your core hashtags so that you, or sorry, 10 of your core that you always use without fail. 10 core, 10 niche, 10 and 10 topic specific. So if you're talking about self-love, or you're talking about network marketing, or you're talking about social media, so that would be your post topic. Then my core hashtags are usually, courageous women, confidence. Those are my cores. And then my niche would be like who I'm talking to.
Yeah,
And then I'll mix it up.
in fact, like, so on my Tailwind, everybody uses different things, but you can kind of see how often that hashtag is used. And so it helps me to be like, okay, so I need, 10 that are competitive and then 10 that are niche. So I can kind of give a variety of them. I don't want all of them to be super competitive. I want some that are also very narrow as well. Some big ones, some small ones, and that brings in a lot more people. And so you can see it's just like filled with hashtags.
You do want to make sure, you can have mega hashtags, which are your millions. Those are okay. You can have, 5 of those are fine, but you really want to stay between the 10,000 to 5. So I could say 499, 10,000 to 499,000 people have used that hashtag. Because then if you've ever gone on to your social media or your Instagram, if you searched hashtags, if you're constantly posting the million ones, you get buried all the time. But if you're adding in there the ones that are between the 10,000 and the 499, you will usually be at the top for quite some time when someone searches that hashtag. So yeah, mix it up, have the megas, you can have a couple. I don't recommend more than 3. Personal, like mine would be unapologetically empowered as a personal one for me. Also, emotional weight loss is a personal hashtag. Not many people are using it at all. So hashtags can be a huge beast, but honestly, just store them in your phone, change them up, I like to be aware, like every once in a while, go and search the hashtags you're using, because there are times that Instagram will ban hashtags and then you kind of get dinged when you use them. And let's see, but just know if you're posting 30, even if they're banned, even if they're million, black hole ones, you're at least, you're using all 30 opportunities to reach someone, right?
He is posting a couple of hashtag generator ideas in the comments for all of you. If you're wondering, like, where do I even go to find hashtag generators? I'm not using a scheduler like Tailwind that doesn't just come up with ideas. Where do we get them? So there's one called display purposes, and we can share a few more too in the notes after the call.
Yeah. My favorite thing is just to search Instagram, because I like to use that. So the hashtags I'm using, this is how I found my last 3 leaders. Here's my secret tip. So I'll go and search a hashtag that I have been using. So let's say 9 to 5 or no more 9 to 5. That's a big one. So no more 9 to 5. I'll go and search it. And then I'll go to the most recent post or to the top posts. And then I'll click on like 3 to 5, depending on how much time I have scheduled. And then what I do is I will comment on these posts and try and start up a conversation with these people who have used that hashtag, because they're people that kind of inspire me. Like, I would work with this person. I would want this person on my team, right? And so I'll go and I'll make conversation. So commenting on other people's stuff is how I found my last 3 leaders, because they just, because of that, searching a hashtag and going and engaging. Had I been searching the millions and hashtags, I wouldn't have found the people that I found. Ooh. But yeah, it's not just about you posting and ghosting. You got to go in there and talk to people, just like you do networking. Got to do it.
I love that so much. Well, I know that we're out of time, but Angela, do you want to share a little bit about the course that you created? Because I know that everybody is craving more of the insights that you have. And so I would love to see how they can get more of you.
Yes. So what I was looking for quite some time was like, I was always telling my leaders here, I was recording step-by-steps on how to do something, because a lot of the courses you purchase will tell you, well, here's 60 real ideas in 60 days. And you're like, but how do I do these things? I don't understand how so what I did was I created a whole course based off the questions that I get asked all the time on how do I start a reel? How do I stop a reel? How do I add the words? How do I make the words move around? How do I find hashtags? How do I use Canva within my Instagram? If you didn't know, Instagram's rewarding anybody who uses Canva because they made a multi-million-dollar partnership. So use Canva all the time. Instagram loves it. So I just broke everything down. And I teach you step by step how to use your stories, what to share on your stories to engage with people and enroll new customers. I teach you how to use your reels to bring in new following, to bring in new eyes onto your content. I teach you how to post to your feed. And I do it in a step-by-step way, mostly video. So it's like you can turn on a video of how do I edit a reel? And you can watch me edit a reel, and then I tell you to go and do it. And the longest video on there, I think, is maybe 2 minutes and 30 seconds. Most of them are under 30 seconds because I do not have an attention span whatsoever. So I just believe the whole world doesn't have an attention span, and that's what I created. And it's meant to help you know how to do something and then, or learn how to do something and then go do it. So I also teach you how to completely overhaul your bio. That's in there. And then I am going to be adding to it, which is huge, a 5-day story challenge to help you jump into, and I tell you exactly what to post in those 5 days so that you get to jump into and start engaging with your audience in a very effective way. It's the way that I've learned to engage and to share and sell my products without dropping the, sign up with me or whatever. So it's a great course. And what's even better about it is that I can't remember the price.
47, I think.
Sorry, 47. It's 47, but all proceeds are going to my doTERRA's Healing Hand Project Match. So what's 47 plus 47? I don't math very well. So doTERRA will match every purchase of my course. And so it's like whatever, 80s. What's 47?
94? Is that right? 94. Yep.
Hey, thank you, math friends. You are my friends. Yeah, so it's 94 is what goes to doTERRA's Healing Hand Project Match. I partnered with Dahlia's Hope, which is a human sex trafficking survival program out here, and it was the brainchild of someone who was rescued from trafficking, and it's kind of an amazing organization. And so we are building an animal therapy arena, and so all the proceeds are going to that. So I knew I had a gift at something. We all have a gift at something, and I knew I could teach people step by step how to build on Instagram. And I felt like it would be the best way to raise money for my Healing Hands program. So I would love for you to be a part of my course. It's really simple. You just request. We're not that technical yet. You just request, and it's pay through PayPal, and then you get sent the Dropbox link, and you can start right away. And if you do enroll, or if you do grab the course, I will be taking people through personally. The first group of people that come into my course, I will be walking those who want to through the 5-day story challenge personally. So you'll be in a group with me, and I take you through it one-on-one so that I can glean off of you, gather more questions to even make the course better. Does that help?
Yeah, totally. That schedule that you shared with Eddie, is that also in your course?
Yes, that is going to be added. So what's great about it is that I will add all the things that people keep coming to me like, hey, Angela, I'm curious, how do you add this? And then I put that in. So I wanted to make sure what I did with Eddie was working for him because he did not know Instagram at all. And it was working for him. And so I'm like, okay, let maximizers, number one, let's perfect this, and let's write it out so I have a way to share it with other people, so that they feel like they can do this and just start doing it. So yes, that's going to be in there bit by bit, piece by piece. It's always updating.
Yay, awesome. Well, thank you so much. Everybody share in the comments if you found this helpful, if you walked away inspired, ready to kind of take action on your social media and show up authentically. I feel like we were really blessed and to have Angela with us. And I was telling Angela that I initially asked somebody else to join us tonight, but she had a family emergency. And even after I had invited her, even though I was excited about her, I had the thought a few weeks ago, like I should probably ask Angela if she wants to join too. And so it was just neat how the world aligned, and then it worked out that she got to be with us the whole time. So a lot of great comments in the chat. Thank you, so wonderful. Thank you, Angela. Yes, I really want to learn how to do this. Thank you, Angela. Thank you, super helpful. So many great comments. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
You're welcome. And you can do it. You really, truly can. It's just commit to learning.
Yeah, awesome. Well, thank you so much. Everybody have a fabulous night, and we'll share the recording and all the links and things that we talked about tonight too, so that you'll have them in an email afterwards. Good night, everybody. See you later. Thanks, Angela.
You're welcome.